So these are our bearded dragons, one of the two groups that we have here on the animal welfare unit. And today what we're actually going to be looking at is how to tell the difference between the males and the females of the group. Now, our bearded dragons come from the deserts out in Australia, and they're becoming a really common pet now when it comes to first-time reptile owners. So we're going to get them out appropriately in a manner that will be nice and safe and secure for them. It won't hurt them at all, and then we're going to be able to hopefully tell the difference between our male and our female. So the most important aspect here is to support both parts of the bearded dragon, to keep the front and the back end supported as well when we're picking up. We've got two hands, so we're going to slide one underneath and one around the back end as well. These animals are very tame, they're used to us handling them on a day-to-day basis, so we won't actually need to use a claw method to keep them restrained. Always important to shut the door behind you to make sure the second one doesn't make an escape. But as you can see, just keeping a hand sometimes over the top of the animal as well just helps it keep secure. We do have handling tables here on the animal welfare unit. We make sure that we can put their animals on there and it just keeps them nice and secure, and it allows our students to look at them throughout. Now, as you can see with our bearded dragon here, our female, she has kind of a slightly dark undercarriage here. Now, however, in our males this is a lot more prominent. You would see a lot more black marking underneath here, which when we get the male out we'll actually be able to see. It's not completely uncommon though for females to have a slight displaying of black as well, so it's not the be all and end all when it comes to actually checking the gender between them. That can actually be seen by checking the rear end of our bearded dragon. Now, whilst keeping it nice and secure and nice and safe, we still just need to lift up the tail slightly. Now, in our females there is an ever so slight lump running along the base here. You can just see a slight ridge where it actually goes onto the tail. This is different to our males, which we'll see in a minute. Our males actually have two lumps running side by side, whereas the females just have this one lump just here. As you can see, when we're doing this as well, it's still very important to keep an eye on our bearded dragon, making sure that she's reacting well, she's comfortable, she's calm. And as this is a cold-blooded animal, they very much once again enjoy being out on the hand, so it keeps them nice and warm. What we'll do, we'll pop the female back, and then we'll bring the male out. So whilst keeping one hand around her, we'll open the door, and then we'll place her nice and securely back on the log we got her from. We're now going to get our male out. So scooping underneath, keeping hold, and then keeping them down the hand so it's nice and secure. You can see the difference, what I meant with regards to the black chin underneath our bearded dragon here, a lot more dark, a lot more prominent. Tends to come, the coloration comes a lot as well when they're kind of showing signs of dominance, when they're being protective over their females. Our bearded dragons will actually perform this head bob where they're trying to be protective over their female. It's a nice natural behaviour, it shows that they're actually looking after their female. As you can see, it's just trying to get a little bit comfortable, it's just kind of moving around a little bit. If we needed to, we could potentially actually claw our animal so we could keep it secure, keeping one hand underneath and just clawing it around the neck, just holding it in place. Adds a bit of security, and it just means that our bearded dragon is actually secure in our hands. It's not going to end up on the floor. A lot of animals as well, once this claw method actually comes in, they just tend to relax a little bit. You can actually just see them calm down. They know they're being restrained, so there's no point to their actual struggles. And as you can see, he feels a bit more secure now, so he's kept in that one place. What we will now try and do is show you the tail of our male here. Well, hopefully we can see the difference between our male and our female. Now, as we look at this tail here, you can see there is this kind of gap in between and then two lumps either side. This is basically highlighting that this is a male. So as it's a reptile, it's actually got kind of internal reproductive organs rather than some of our mammalian species where we've actually seen external organs. But as you can see, there's this gap in the middle and this ridging on either side. That tells us that it's a male rather than a female, because our female had that one lump at the bottom. Now we've done that, we'll get our bearded dragon back into the warm. And to keep hold as you're doing this, because it might well squirm when it gets near the bottom. Gently placing it back in, closing the door after.